KOFA.org and on the KOFA app. What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter airs next, followed by Midday Music on KOFA. It's 10 o'clock.
Where else on the radio would you hear the set that just played? For the most part, the music you hear on Border Radio is pretty hard to find on commercial radio stations. You'll hear this music only on a public radio station like Border Radio, where you, our listener, truly appreciates it and owns it. Visit borderradioaz.org to donate today.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
On today's program, we're going to be joined first by Josie Garcia, who has spent 27 years working with children and families right here in Yuma. She went all the way from being a Head Start volunteer to a preschool owner. Her focus on the whole child is what she's going to be bringing to the show today, as well as Amy Cross, who has been in radio since 1986. She's been working in markets all across the country. We're going to find out how she ended up here and how she's in California, Kentucky, and Houston all at the same time. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
Johnny Show! What's Up Yuma?
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon. And real quickly, Johnny, I need to say that today is Earth Day.
It is Earth Day.
Yes.
You are correct. Do you know what else it is?
I do not know. Someone's birthday?
Yes, it's my mom's birthday.
Okay. Well, happy birthday to your mom.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mom. I love you. And yeah, that's how I always remember. Like, it's Earth Day, so it's my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you forget, you get too busy and you look at the calendar, it says Earth Day. It's also Mom's birthday that day.
Yeah, well, just like we want to treat your and every mother, we want to treat our Mother Earth.
The Mother Earth.
Yeah, because we only have one, so treat her right.
That's exactly true. We only have one. And after that, who knows what's going to happen, but we won't be here.
Right.
Yeah, no. So, yes, Earth Day, take care of the earth. And who do we have on our show today?
We have Josie Garcia, the owner of Milestones Preschool. Thank you for being here this morning.
Of course, it's a pleasure.
Get a little bit closer. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
It's a pleasure.
There we go. There we go. Now the rest of the world can hear you. So we like to get to know our guests. We know that you own a preschool. We want to know where are you from originally? From Yuma or you're a transplant?
I'm a transplant.
Okay, cool.
Born and raised in L.A.
All
East
right.
L.A. to be
East
exact.
L.A. like the movie?
Like the movie.
Oh, wow. Orderly.
Yes, and then moved here, went to high school there, then came here.
Oh, you went to high school, all the way high school. What was it like growing up in East L.A.?
Pretty harsh.
Was it harsh?
Harsh.
Like, what was harsh about it when you say harsh? Because, you know, I've seen the movie and I've seen other movies about it. I've seen Colors and all these different. Was it like that?
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty. It's the crowd you go into, but even if you don't, it's the harsh part was that forced to belong somewhere or to a group.
Absolutely.
And that's where you got into a lot of trouble.
So did you get in trouble? You can admit it. Like the statutes of limitations are over. The cops aren't going to come for you.
Yes.
Yes. And that's okay to admit.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And it's nice. It's not a proud moment at that time, but it's understanding. You're an adolescent and whatnot, but I'm here because of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was interested in that, so I grew up in Okietown here, and I was actually talking to one of my neighbors. I live in the same house I grew up in, and we were talking about how rough the neighborhood used to be. Back when I grew up, it was like, been shot at, stabbed, all these different things in the hood, and vice versa. We would go to other hoods and do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore, but that was part of our environment growing up, and we got to talk about, because he lives there in his parents' old house, and I live the same, and we just got to talk about, like, I'm glad we're both on a good path now.
Yeah.
Like we're both doing good. He's doing great. I'm doing great. So we got to talk about that. But it was our environment. Like, he's older than me, so I has to walk by his house every day to go to school. And he was, you call him a veterano, and I just, it's where I'm at. So I guess that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? You want to belong as a kid, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's that resilience that I found that a lot of what helps, it's the fact that you're surrounded by good people, that grandma, that grandpa, or that uncle, or that auntie or mom who's always there to support regardless. And then that's what allows us to be here today.
So do you have someone special like that? Was it mom or auntie or nana or?
I had a few, but I had one aunt in particular who was always there, who was always encouraging me or always telling me, is it what you're doing, is it right? Do you like what you're doing? What is it that you want to do? Just always pushing me to think ahead, not to kind of stay stuck in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So same thing with my mom. It was my mom that would do that. Same thing. My mom would tell me these things, and I would literally be like on the street corner, you know, misbehaving, do what we're doing. And I was like 14 years old, because you get into it pretty early. And I just would have that in the back of my head. Like, oh, mom wants me home right now. I shouldn't be out doing this, you know. And then eventually I was able to get out of it in high school. But my mom's voice was already there. And she always told me every day, like, you're different. You don't have to be like this, you know. And it really helped. So it sounds like your aunt helped you.
Yes.
So that's perfect, because that's early in your life, and you're into early education, right?
Definitely.
So you want to get the kids early, right?
Correct. And I think that's why. I think that's what helps, has been a big part of my life to be able to help, you know, other children, other adolescents, and of course other families, other parents.
Yeah, and give them that good foundation, like going forward. Like, you know, you start them young and you teach them, you know, right, and then hopefully they'll continue on in their education and they'll love education and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So you came over here after high school?
Yes. Well, I stopped going I ran away. I was a runaway.
Oh, okay.
So then I decided, you know, I moved here to Yuma.
Like you ran all the way from East LA to here. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It was a long run.
That's a little long, yeah.
Like Forrest Gump doing that run. But did you really, like, when you ran away, you came to Yuma?
I was driven. I was brought here.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I didn't think you ran, but I'm just saying, like, why Yuma then?
I had family in San Luis, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
And I had family here in Yuma, and so this is where I needed to be. And then I finished at Yuma High. I graduated at Yuma High. I graduated just barely because, again, I got my husband and I had our firstborn at 17, going on 18. Wow. So, and we're, you know, now we're grandparents of 7 grandchildren.
Oh, congratulations!
We have 3 children, adult children, and but yeah, it's been a roller coaster. But you know what? It's been good.
Okay, so you're 17, you're having a baby, you're barely graduating. Did you know you were going to get into education at that point? What were some of your thoughts around that? What are you going to do after high school?
When I had I didn't know during high school, nothing. I just wanted to live.
Just to live, maybe skate through high school, like you said, and just go out and live life.
Definitely. But when our firstborn was born, that's when I realized family was something about family unity was my passion. There was something there because that motherhood awoke a lot of emotions, and then I went. We had our second child, then I decided to go back. I was in Yuma High. I did the TAP program back then.
What was that? What was TAP? Tell us. Teenage
parenting program. So if you had a child, you would leave your child right next door to Yuma High. There was a building. You would drop off your child there, go to school, go to class. You wouldn't have an opportunity to socialize with your friends during lunch. You had to go and sit with your child and feed your child and spend that quality 45 minutes, then go back to class. You took parenting classes, and then the bus would pick us up and take us back home with my 2 cartsies and my 2 babies, you know. Trying to finish high school.
So you had both of them in high school. Yeah, so I know girls that were part of, it's like, I don't know if it was the same program, but similar programs at Kofa High School that they were doing. Wow, so you had 2 babies.
Yeah.
You're doing this, and it changed something inside of you. You said that maybe that maternal instinct kind of came out, that nurturing, or what was it?
Yes, that nurturing.
Yeah, okay.
You hit it on the nail. That's it. That nurturing, that caring, and the trying to help others somehow without knowing at the moment. I didn't know. Now I know, but back then it's just trying to help somebody somewhere, somehow, as getting through just like the obstacles, pretty much just like we all do at one point, being that support system for somebody. And then I just, graduated Yuma High, went back to LA, took some classes at Cerritos College down there, and then came back.
Okay, what classes did you take when you were over there?
Early childhood education.
Okay, so then it just clicked, and then you said, I'm going to pursue this. Yeah. You went back to LA. Why'd you go back?
Work, income. My
Okay, to make some money, like your husband making some money. Okay, you went back, and then what was it in you that said, I could do this? I can go back to school. I can make this happen after skating through school like you did?
My son was a Head Start. I enrolled him in Head Start back in East LA. And the teachers there, they would ask me to volunteer, I was the parent president of the committee, and they put me in the classroom. They saw something in me. They said, you know what? You'd be great as an early childhood educator.
Okay.
We want to pay for your college. And I said, okay. And
really? They said that, huh?
So they
saw something in you. Yeah. That those instincts were released, and they recognized it.
Yes.
Wow. And they said, we want to pay for your college.
Yeah.
And then did you say yes and amen right away? You're like, let's do it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I would too.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would definitely do that. But
yeah. And that was it. And after that, life brought us back to Yuma as soon as I graduated that April. Which I was pregnant with our third child. Every time I go back to school, I got pregnant.
Yeah, you had a kid, huh?
But so we came back to Yuma when she was 1 month old, and that's when I got into Waycock Head Start here in Yuma.
Okay, so and then you came back work again. Is that what brought you back to Yuma? What was that?
Just family again.
Oh, family again. Yeah. So okay, family brought you back to Yuma. You had a great experience over there at the Head Start program.
Yeah,
that was good. They invested in you, and then you came over here, and then you enrolled the newest one. Like, how did that work out? Yeah, the latest addition to the family.
Yes, I put her in a daycare here in town, and then my oldest children, they continued Head Start.
Head Start. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so it's a part of your life now. It's a part of your being.
Yeah.
And you came over here. Did you volunteer right away, or
no? I got hired.
You got hired. You got job this time. Okay. Hired. Not only they're paying for your college, they're actually paying for your wages.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what was that like when you started professionally in your professional career?
I loved it. I learned so much. I started as an assistant teacher, and that was, as we were mentioning earlier, the fact that we get to experience different roles throughout our professional, whatever it is that we do, it helps a lot. It helped me grow as seeing other lead teachers and seeing out in the community other parents who were always grateful for how their children were developing and whatnot. That kept on pushing me. It's like, okay, there was gratitude from many parents, and that helped me.
What do you do when you don't get the gratitude, though? I'm sure there has to be some. Like, does that gratitude kind of carry you over, or how does that work?
Back then, when I was beginning, it would hit like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not doing right? What am I not qualified for this? All these doubts. Nowadays, I'm more empathetic, and I realize it's not about me. It's not me. There's different parenting styles, and I got to respect them all, and I just got to give what I have. But back then, it did kind of hit differently.
So it hit different, but you got to get used to how to absorb that or how to navigate those situations. Because it seems to me like people typically like to complain before they congratulate or show gratitude. So I know that comes with it. But you're staying strong. You're in it. You love it. You're feeling good. How long were you at part of the Head Start program here?
I was there for 8 years.
8 years. What are some of your favorite moments?
Oh, putting on events for the kids, for the parents to see, making their dresses or making their costumes. Just every time they would have to present something to their parents, and just the parents always being grateful and taking the pictures and capturing those moments. When we were assessed the children back then, it was a lot. I don't know now. I'm sure it is because it's a federally funded, but a lot of assessments and just seeing the growth on paper, because we see it every day. But when it's on paper and you share it to the parents, and many of them who have, other issues going on, and they see that growth, and they see that growth in their child. It's very rewarding.
It's rewarding. And so you said the events. Did you plan the events? Were you part of like the committee that does it, or?
Every teacher will plan their events.
Does. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Every teacher gets to have. So any event in particular that really stands out that you remember?
Quite a few, but I believe one of my last ones, and I think that's why that sticks to my mind a lot.
So significant because it's the kind of the end of the road there, huh?
Yeah, it was a Cinco de Mayo event. So where I had all the girls everybody got one of those beautiful big Mexican dresses, and the boys had all their outfit, and it was just it was just nice. It was just nice to have all the parents volunteer. I can sew this. I can do this.
Really?
I can do this. And at the end of the day, just present it all to them, to these parents. And then the children being so proud because then their mommy's made this and everybody's involved. That's what I like a lot from what I do.
Mm-hmm. And WACOG, that's stuff that it's like federally funded or like state funded or something?
I believe there's different grants, but
Different grants that they have?
Western Arizona Council of Governments, when we had Veronica on, she kind of explained how it kind of works, and it's a mix.
Yeah, no, and I just wanted to kind of bring that up because it's such a resource that we have here. And to be able to do that, and you said the parents come in and they chip in that I could sew this, I could do this, and the kids proud. You know, when you're at that age, you are proud about it. Like it makes you, and those are those core memories that you start to make, and you think about that, and then hopefully somebody's there to take a picture and embarrass you in front of your girlfriend when you get older, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But so you got to be a part of that, and that was memorable to you.
Yes, and what you just said, it's part of it. It's just being there and being that. If there's not that aunt or that, what we were saying earlier about resilience, there's always that early teacher that was there. Those very important years of life when all that autonomy and all that resilience starts to build up, and the personality starts to come in. Those are such significant years that if somebody's there just to even give you a pat on the back, maybe nobody's, at home giving you that pat in the back and saying, you did great, I like what you're doing, do you like it, or ask you anything on this side, in this field, that's our job pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to find out how you went from that to owning your own preschool now. We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma Radio is sponsored in part by Nova Home Loans, serving Yuma County and nearby communities. Nova Home Loans offers residential lending services, including home loans and refinancing. They are also proud supporters of local community efforts and organizations. More information is available at novahomeloansyuma.com.
Good morning. This is Cecilia Holland Braithwaite, one of the hosts of Morning Edition on KAWC. Here to remind you that you can access music and news from across the street and around the world using our KAWC.org website. KAWC program archives and local podcasts like Arizona Edition, The Hot Spot, and Siendo Primero, as well as national NPR shows are waiting for you in our KAWC KOFA app. Our app can be downloaded through the App Store and on Google Play.
K-pop fans, we can never get enough of Girl Time, right? So join me for the Girl Time Part 2 show with Cat's Eye Twice, Baby Monster, and more. K-pop for Border airs on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on KOFA Radio. You can stream the show on KAWC's app or website, or follow K-pop for Border Facebook or Instagram.
KOFA Border Radio doesn't sound like any other radio station in Yuma. We are a non-commercial source for music from around the world, across the decades and local artists. Our hosts are volunteers. If you would like to get involved, send an email to music@borderradioaz.org.
I'm Mike Suba, and I'm a big supporter of KAWC. You're getting a great source of information about our community, about the people that are working and living here, and you start going, you know what, this is really a valued service. And that's the great thing, is you've got a partnership here. And I'm a big believer in partnerships because the one thing I realized early on in life, I can maybe do a lot of stuff on a very limited basis, but when I start partnering up, it's amazing what we can do when we pool our resources. And so I hope that when people are listening to the station, enjoying the news broadcasts and the entertainment shows that are being presented, that they realize that you're not only the end user and enjoying what is being broadcast to you, but it can be a partnership too, where you can participate, like I've discovered I can do, and help get this service, enhance it, and provide even better programming. I'm Mike Suba, and I support KAWC.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here with
Josie Garcia, owner of Milestones Preschool. And so we were talking before about how, when you came to Yuma, and started working, you were working with WACOG Head Start. And then after that, I understand you worked for some local, private daycares.
Yes.
And then you ended up here at Arizona Western College. Tell us about that.
I was here I started here in 2008 at the Child Development Learning Lab, which I loved. It's an honor. It's one of the most beautiful places I've seen in childcare. Mm-hmm. And I was there with Alma Barande, with Allison Keo, who was the director when they just had opened in 2008, which I was there for the opening, making sure the class, everything wasn't set for the children to start officially for the first time. Mm-hmm. Then Alma Barande, now the director, and I was there with her and all these teachers, and it's been wonderful. And it's now I see a lot of the children who started there, well, they're not children anymore, but they're on off to high school or graduating high school, heading on to college, and it's pretty rewarding. It's nice to see all these little ones now being, young adults and thrive. Yeah, so as I understand it, it is the daycare center here on campus. It's for the children of faculty, staff, and students as well, right? Yes. And so there's a program that can, if someone's here at AWC, whether they're faculty, students, or staff, they can have that daycare experience. And there's a community within that, right? Yes, and it's more than a daycare. It's more of a preschool setting. Okay. And it is a lab school, so students can also do their internship in there or do observations. Mm-hmm. I don't know now, but I remember back then a lot of the nursing students will go in and do that, or even if there's a student having to practice with their camera techniques or something, they would always go in the photography type of thing. Okay. But, yeah, I know if you drive on the east side of campus or heading that way, where I'm pointing, you'll see the kids, and sometimes they'll come out or, for pickup or whatever. You'll see the parents coming to pick up the kids. And so that's because our studios used to be in another building on that end of campus. And so that's why frame of reference, sometimes I had to park in the front. If they were doing something in the parking lot over there by that building, but yeah, so you were there. So was it then that you were thinking about having your own business, or how did that come about? Something that I've always thought about. Something that I've always, it's always in the back of the mind of just about anybody who wants to, do anything. Mm-hmm. It's a business. And when I was there, I was also teaching my CDA courses to students with a Child Development Associate's credential. Okay. And I was teaching there. I started, meeting women who also had that hunger, that they want to help, they want to do. Mm-hmm. Then I love the part of mentoring. And I just felt like I needed to move on. At one point, the waiting list there is beautifully long because of the quality that they provide, the CDLL. And I thought, you know what? There is a need. There is a need for more of this. And then my first grandchild was born. And then I thought, okay, I might have to get this going pretty soon. And then my second grandchild was born. I said, okay, I think it's time. Yeah. And what happened is I just decided, you know what? There is a need. I know there's other daycares and whatnot around. But I do want to be able to leave something behind, leave a legacy behind. And that's when Milestones, just the thought of it started coming about. And I told somebody had walked in that day, and I said, if you hear any daycares closing in town, let me know. For the building wise. And a week later, somebody stopped by and said, they are such and such places closing. Yeah. As I was packing my daughter that Friday here at the dorm at AWC. That Friday, and I had a meeting at 1. They had called me right away. She was, yes, the landlord wants to meet with you, he's doing interviews. So it was a lot of my colleagues. There was other daycares and preschools there waiting to speak to, kind of give you a reference. And so, yeah, I'm very blunt every time I talk about this, but I didn't have the resources nor the money to, I had just the dream. So when they said, okay, the building's there, they want to interview these people, you want to come over? And I say, sure. And as I'm unloading and loading my daughter, I realize I only got $97 in my account right now. What am I doing? What am I doing? But I said, nope, go forth, Josie. You declared it. You talked about it. Just step forward. Don't be afraid. Woman of faith, I started praying, and I said, okay, I'm doing it. And it worked out, and here we are.
Yeah. So is that what you would attribute it to? Is faith like you said, you looked at your bank account and your bank account wasn't agreeing with what you were saying, right? Your vision, your dream. Yeah. And then, so how did you do it? How did you say, I'm going to go forward? Because you felt like God's going to take care of you, like it's going to happen. Tell us a little bit about that and go into detail.
I felt God told me in the way that security that I felt at the moment. That way, I feel like He didn't come down and but He.
Yeah, for sure.
I just felt.
If He did, I'd like to meet him. You tell him, hey, go visit Johnny too.
Johnny wants to have some tacos with him.
Yeah.
So this is around 2018 then when you opened Milestones.
2018. Yeah, 2018 is when I left the CDLL, and I started following. After 10 years of the CDLL, I learned a lot from Alma, from the directors there, everybody there, the entire staff. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to do this. I was scared. I was afraid, but not as much because again, I felt that security. I felt that reassurance that everything's going to be okay. Then a thought came to my mind. I opened my Bible and just a thought. It just, listen to me with my inner ear and I will guide you. I just, boom, it just sunk in. I was on the edge of my bed and I said, okay. So I showed up and they said, okay, they called me back, the lease is going to go to you. This is what, and I was like,
okay, yeah.
This is when it really, I said, okay, no. And my husband says, what? And I said, I'm not scared. I don't feel fear. I don't feel
no
scared.
fear.
Nothing.
No.
I was very it's going to happen. I just felt like it's going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen. I just left it to God and said, I don't know, you guide me, you tell me where to go.
Yeah.
And everything fell into place. A lot of my students that I had here on campus, from the CDA courses that I would teach, they volunteered to help me in every single way.
So not only, before I go any further, our next guest, there was some conflict, so we could keep her longer, just to let you know.
Sure.
So we could really dive into these things.
Yeah, for sure.
So not only did you have no fear and God's going to get your back, you said you had also an army of past students that said, whatever you need, we got your back?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. They went from taking me food, because I was there there was days mostly that I would sleep there and then just kind of wash up in there. And because I was a cook, I was doing everything. And the teachers were, again, a lot of the students who would volunteer their time, who would say, I'll be here part-time. You need me full-time, I'll be here part-time. You can pay me part-time. Others just said, I'll clean up for you. I don't have, I want to clean the windows for you. I had a parent who enrolled her child there. They're faculty here, I believe. And grandma came along from Texas just to volunteer for me. She was a cook because her grandchildren were there. And she after years later, she said, till now, we laugh and she says, I was really there because I wanted to make sure my kids were in a safe space. I was watching.
Okay, yeah.
And but initially they had said, whatever. So everything, I had a lot of help again from God, because who really works for free just for somebody else is opening a business so easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things just don't happen. But maybe, I guess, they kind of get activated through the faith, right? If you believe it, and you don't just have that security of like, okay, I'm going to believe it in faith. You also have to have action, right? You got to be able to have some evidence, some substance of saying, okay, I'm going to go forward. And then these people kind of show up, and little by little, you started to be able to put it all together.
Same thing with my directors, the way they fall in.
So what do the directors do? And then tell me how they fall in.
The first, I've had two set directors, like two strong. It was myself.
Okay.
And then I was there for a while. And then I said, I want to hire a director to do what I'm doing. And she, same thing, Gabby Diaz. She was there. A lot of people know her. She was there with me for 6 years. And a big blessing again. She was giving me her little hours, but, big hours, but paying little hours. And she took over. She taught me so much. And that's, again, part of the experience I was talking as leaders or as business owners. Sometimes we're just so stuck in our business that it's hard for us to lift our head and see out there, because, and when she walks in, she teaches me so much about and again, I believe it's God, because he needed me to trust myself, because I sometimes we just don't. We feel like if I step out of the business, it's gonna fall apart. And he sent her to tell me it's not gonna fall apart.
So how did you find her?
The neighbor of one of my parents who would also volunteer to help me fill out paperwork.
Wow.
She said, you know what? I now she works with our lawyer next door, John Garcia. He's our neighbor in our building. So she moved to work for him because she was a paralegal. And then she said, you know what? I have my neighbor. She might want to work for you. And she didn't. She wasn't looking for a job, Gabby. So she's just took it just out of, okay, I'll help you for a little bit. I'll be here for a little bit. And then it was 6 years later. But that's how she came along. And we've become great friends. And she's moved on. She has other plans. And that's part of what I do, too. As I was mentioning earlier, the mentoring part, it's a passion to me to help others, women especially, because we're mothers, because I get the women.
And you're
part
one of the boss babes or something?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Like I said earlier, we get a lot of babes on this show. That's part of, that's what happens here. But so particularly you're saying women, you like to help them because like you saw yourself go through it and you know you could do it, so you can encourage them to as well? Yeah,
and sometimes I can be a little pushy about it.
Oh,
but
wow.
That's because it's just because I know we can, I know. And like you said, exactly, where we come from, where I come from, what I've lived from being where I grew up to being a teenage mom to having to live in a small garage a couple times with my whole family, but always happy, always, my husband provided and he made sure we're always, we were okay and safe. And being where I can say I'm now, I'm not how can I say? I'm not successfully wealthy, but I'm at peace. And that's,
you feel fulfilled.
I feel fulfilled. I feel successful that way. I feel successful being able to help these women and get into their minds to say family's always, God is first, but family's first. Family's always going to be first, no matter what. Family's first. And then if your family is, I tell this to my team, if your family is fine, you go home and you make sure that your husband's fine, your children are fine. And if that's fine, you're going to come in to work feeling much better and being able to provide to these little ones with more patience and more empathetic. And if somebody's not leveled right, something's not right, if I have a mom of staff that might be going through some housing issues or health issues or divorce issues or parenting issues, whatever, it can be financial, whatever, we go as a team and we support each other, making sure if she needs that time off, she gets it. We all make sure everything else happens, because there's probably another one. There's 13 of us, so I'm sure one of the 13
like staff, you're saying? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have to make sure that everybody's fine, along with myself.
And that's, you sounds like very important to you. You're saying having that foundation and then come to work and it changed the whole environment.
Yes, it has. Yeah, and I find that's a big secret of providing quality care for whatever you do. If it's children, if it's elderly, just if you're in charge of somebody else's life, you have to be okay with yourself. Everything around you needs to be calm and safe and feel secure.
Absolutely. We're going to take another break. Is it all right we keep you for a little bit longer?
Definitely.
All right, cool. And then we'll talk about some stuff that maybe you have going on at the preschool during the day. There we go. I got that out. We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
It's always better when it's local. Your food or your radio. Get the true Yuma soundtrack right here on Border Radio KOFA 94.7 FM or in the KOFA app.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by the 2 Welton locations of High Tanks Brewing Company. It's craft brewery and tap room, featuring scratch-made food and handcrafted beers, including Daphne's Date Ale and the Gila Hazy IPA. Also, live music and experiences such as farm tours and glamping are available. More at hightanks.com.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon. Yuma Mayor Doug Nichols gave his latest State of the City speech Tuesday. Mayor Nichols mentioned that he is in the last year of his 3rd term as mayor. He's running for re-election later this year. He used his speech on Tuesday to highlight city and community development projects.
I think what I was trying to focus on today was the fact that we're a growing community and we've got great city employees and leaders that are taking us into the future. There's challenges. There's always going to be challenges, but we're meeting them head on with the right people and the right partners. That's the message I was trying to convey, and all the different updates from the different departments and activities going on.
Stay tuned to KAWC to hear more from Yuma Mayor Doug Nichols and a local business leader. For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon.
One of our donors, Rebecca, shared, "As a flight attendant, I love listening to Border Radio when I'm home in Yuma. But the best part is I can take it with me on the app when I'm away. Border Radio lets me carry a piece of home wherever I go." Join listeners like Rebecca by visiting donate.borderradioaz.org and contribute today.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Join me for Bonus Smiles, the show sharing the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Why? Because the rando cheering you on at a mile 77 aid station is the same kind of person who supports local public radio. Join us every Saturday at 5 a.m. on KOFA at 94.7 FM for stories that soothe and jams that power long runs.
I use KAWC almost on a daily basis in my car. It's the background for chores around my house. And I go to the website and look for stories that are of interest, and I listen to podcasts. I look to the news on NPR because I'm looking for something beyond the headline or a soundbite or a gotcha moment. I really want news that shows me sort of the multiple dimensions of a story, that seeks information from multiple sources and doesn't tell me how to think. It just presents the issues, and I really appreciate that. Being a sustaining member of a service like KAWC takes the mystery out of it for me. So I know that I am supporting every month. I also know that I don't have to remember to sit down and write a check at the end of the year or a budget for a check at the end of the year, right? It's kind of coming out of my account every month, and that makes me feel a little bit like I'm part of the team. I'm Lori Stoft from Arizona Western College, and I'm a proud supporter of KAWC Yuma.
No matter why you love music, KOFA is the station that helps you find new artists and remember favorites from the past. You can hear us at 94.7 FM and on the KOFA app in your favorite app store.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. Josie is being so kind to stay with us right now. And I just want to say apologies to Amy Cross, who was supposed to be our next guest. I don't know what happened, but she did, and she showed me a screenshot. I was texting her right now. It said that her interview got moved to 1:30. I don't know how it happened. So I don't know if we're getting hacked on that account. You're in the account too,
yeah,
right?
We'll have to double check on that. Yeah, because obviously we want to tell our guests that we record every day between 10 and 11. So it's either 10 or 10:30.
Yeah. And it is in the email that they get that the show's only on there. But I don't know. And I looked at it. Yeah. And it says that it moved. It says changed to 1:30. And I was like, I didn't do it. I know you wouldn't do that. So that's kind of interesting. But she feels bad. She's like, I feel so bad. So it's not your fault, Amy. Don't feel bad. Whatever happened, we're going to get down to the bottom.
We'll have her back on. We'll reschedule for another 10 or 10:30.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, sorry about that. I appreciate you. But yes, thank you for staying. That's really cool. And I just found out now that your family with a great family in town, the owners of the flour mine.
Yes, that's my uncle.
That's your uncle. Yo, so you know how I met him? I met him because I was doing a YouTube interview outside of the radio station, because my old radio station was right next to the flour mine. Yes. And I was interviewed by Peter C.S. something, I forget his last name, but he's one of the most famous YouTubers in the world. Oh. Yeah, and I didn't know who he was. I'm not a big YouTuber guy, but anyway, I got to tell the story.
Same.
So I just got Jorge, what's his name? Anyway, he's another journalist. Jorge hit me up. He's like, hey, Peter Santelli, I think that's his name, is going to be in town, and he wants to interview about the border. When all the stuff was going on at the border, I was doing 560. Okay. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah. He's like, no, you don't understand who this is. This guy's huge. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right, let's do it at the station so it looks legit. And this is like a Saturday. I don't normally go. Anyway, I go over there and I'm doing the interview, and then your uncle walks out and he's like like dumbfounded. He's looking at Peter like, you know, and then Peter's looking like, hey, like, how you doing? He's like, hey, man, I love your show, you know? And he's like, Peter's like, do you want to get interviewed? You want to be a part of this? So I ended up interviewing your uncle, too. He was a part of that thing. And it has millions and millions and millions of views.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one time I got texted so many times, like, hey, I saw you on this thing. But yeah, so your uncle was on it just because he went outside and saw one of his favorite YouTubers.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a cool story. And I just got to say real quick, too, I love that family. Yeah. They're so great. They've been so good to me. I worked with them a lot at the radio station. So, yeah, you have a great family.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Didn't they give you flowers for Monday Night Football, the giveaways?
Yeah, they would give me flowers to give away constantly. So many giveaways. And even when I would do the other giveaways around town, where I would do hiding the coins and stuff, they would give me flowers to give away. So Michael James, everybody over there, they're just great, sweet people. So
yeah, Michael James, my cousin.
Yeah, that's your cousin. Yeah. He's great. I know I'll be working with them more in the future. So, but so thank you for staying with us. I really appreciate it. I know Victor had some more.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about before we get back to Milestones Preschool, we want to talk about your community involvement because you are a part of several groups. I know you're with Fort Yuma Rotary because my wife Araceli is also in that group. How did you come to join Fort Yuma Rotary? Who was it? Wendy Stewart, or who got you into the Fort Yuma?
Alma did.
Alma Ornelas.
Alma Ornelas.
And that's our guest for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, she'll be on tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know where I mentioned it. I met Martha from the Regiment Club, who's also been here before. And I mentioned it, you know, she talked about what she was doing. And I said, I want to go out there. I want to do something. I just want to help. And then somebody mentioned Rotary. And then Alma said, why don't you come over? You know, I'll sponsor you. Yeah. Come on over. You're my invite. And just started going to the Yuma Rotary, and that's how it all starts. And I said, okay, I like this. Yeah. And they always talk about being the funnest group. Yeah. So I said, okay, it is. I'll stay here. And
it was fun when you got there. You were like, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. Just want to make sure they're not lying.
They're silly. And
they're silly.
Yeah.
Yes.
For my wife, it was through Wendy Stewart, who is our financial advisor. And so my wife is a member, and I am.
You're like
I'm voluntold a lot to we're getting up at 7 a.m. on Saturday to go volunteer to paint or whatever.
So by proxy, you're a member.
Yeah. So I'm one of the spouses of the group. So they they've adopted me or welcomed me in. So
you got there, you found out it was fun. So what kind of cool stuff do you guys get to do?
I really like to meet new people. That's my thing. Meeting people relationships is my thing. Hearing all these stories of everything they do. This is my first year, so August will be a year. But going out, and again, I'm not too involved in going out and hands-on with the biggest projects, but I like how they gather, how everybody gathers, like for the Pint Fest, how everybody gathers, and this kind of lends a helping hand. You need to, and that's kind of the way I like to work too. Like, I need you over here. You need to come here now, and everybody stands there, and everybody pulls through. I love that feeling. Yeah. I love that unity. The Children's Museum, I walked in when they were in the middle of finishing that structure, the indoor playground. Right. That's when I walked into the Fort Yuma, and that really captured my heart, just being that they do that for our community. It was just, okay, I'm in the right place. And Alma is my sponsor. She would say, the first year you're just going to observe, you're going to learn, and then you're probably going to start getting your feet wet a little more. And that's what's been happening, honestly. As I've been diving into small projects.
And then Yuma Boss Babes, we've had Tanya on again, talk about having that group of women here in the community, like, who support one another.
Yes.
What that means to you.
Ooh, that as a businesswoman, it helped me so much in the way that I had come to find out that as business owners, men or women, I just feel like sometimes we're just so afraid to be so natural or to just kind of say what's really happening, because we're always afraid, your business might be failing. Oh, that's not the right choice, or criticize or judge or whatever. But being in this group has really taught me that it's going to happen. You struggle and you're not, but the most important is I'm not alone. And the understanding that it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't go well. And then people like Wendy, women like Wendy, like Martha, Alma, the ones I've been more closer to throughout this as I've grown into it is, you got this. What do you need to do? Question your things we do to others, but it's like, question yourself, Josie. What do you need to do? You will be fine. Why do you think that of your, just that uplifting part of being a woman in business. And I say this a lot because it is difficult to be a woman out there and then just not being sometimes
supported, or like you feel maybe imposter syndrome, or I'm trying to. Yeah,
it's just the supported part, or believe. It's just a woman in business. And with all due respect, sometimes it's more the masculine. It's the power is up here, and I didn't see that because I wasn't too involved. I was in my business, just kind of running, helping, get my business going. But it does exist, and I was like, wow. But the fact that this Yuma Boss Babes is like uplifting. No, we got this. We're going to go. And seeing women thrive and then just push each other and then see them succeed, like your guest, Yuma, right? We're just celebrating Alma all over now. But it's just that push, like we've been there, we're there, and we're maybe just steps away from being able to succeed at whatever God makes us.
And you're saying they're steps away, and so then they probably help you along those other steps that you need to take.
Correct. Yes.
Right? They help you do that. We do got to take one more break, and you're going to stay with us for a little bit?
Yes.
You're the best. Absolute best. We love you. You can come back anytime. We're going to take one more break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
From indie gems to timeless classics, Border Radio brings you music with heart. Listen live or on demand at borderradioaz.org or on the KOFA app.
Hey, I'm Jay with Mixtape, the radio show all about sharing music, bringing you songs from the days of cassette tapes and before the time of online. This week's episode of Mixtape, Paragliding Walrus, songs about hope, survival, and love for planet Earth. We'll hear songs by World Party, Samples, Grateful Dead, and Spirit. Join me Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM or on the KOFA app.
KAWC and Border Radio are sponsors of the Village Jazz Series, with concerts every Thursday evening from 6 to 8 at Yuma Palms Regional Center. This week, the AWC and KOFA High School Jazz Bands share the stage for an evening of energetic live jazz. Guests should bring their own seating. Details under Village Jazz at yumajazz.com.
Forecast today in Yuma calls for sunny skies with a high near 85, with wind gusts getting as high as 20 miles an hour throughout the day, and mostly clear in the evening with a low around 59. Today in Parker, sunny skies with a high near 85, and mostly clear in the evening with a low around 53.
Welcome to KAWC's The Hotspot.
I'm Chloe Michael.
And I'm Maya Manry. This week, we hear some fresh perspectives about Yuma. Students from all over the world sharing their experiences.
If I'm honest, it's great. I don't think I could have chosen a better place to be welcome to.
This show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the shows tab.
Bringing the heat to Yuma and La Paz, it's The Hotspot.
You may have heard that prices for used vehicles are up. That car you've thought about donating to KAWC and Border Radio, it could be worth even more today than when you first started thinking about it. To learn how to get the process started, visit kawc.org/cars. Proceeds help us bring this service to you. Thanks.
Run by music lovers like yourselves, KOFA Border Radio has what you need. A non-commercial home filled with music heard from all over the world. Tune in at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM on the KOFA app or at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here with Josie Garcia. And Victor, you said you had some more stuff that you wanted to...
Yeah, so we wanted to highlight a couple of other groups that you're part of, early childhood education. So tell us about your community involvement with those groups.
I'm part of the collaborative, which is with Rudy Ortiz from First Things First, has it takes charge over it. And now Nidia Casas, which is our go-to in First Things First now recently. But also what I want to emphasize is it's a group that we just began, and it's a Yuma County directors and owners. So these are women like me that have a preschool, they might have a daycare or a home daycare, and we just kind of get together. We have a group and we get together. We've been to Phoenix to advocate for early childhood with all these lack of funds and childcare issues that are going on, and that's pretty much our big steps. Is just to get known. It's to get our voices heard, to advocate for our families, for the whole child, which is the child, the family, and his or her community. That's what builds a whole child. It's not just being in the center inside and closed doors. It's getting out there and doing something. So we, if anybody out there has a daycare, is a home daycare provider and feels alone and or just opening up a daycare, like after this, I'm going to go to San Luis, Arizona. There's a new daycare going on that's going to be opened up. I like to be there and offer my support as a colleague.
Not only do you own one, but you go and support others?
Yes, definitely.
That's different because, and I just say, because other people are like, oh, that's competition or whatever, and you don't view it that way.
Not at all. And you know what? And I've had my employees, one of them particularly, she stopped working for me because she opened her own daycare, and I helped her out throughout the process. There's another lady here in town, and Yuma, sorry, I forget where I'm at. She also opened it, and she would always call me, what do I do here? What is this licensing paperwork? And there's Angie Holk. There's quite a few that we just they would come to me and ask me, and I'm saying this in the most humble way, but it's just nice. Why do I do that? Because God gave me what I have.
Right? And it's not yours.
Exactly.
God gave it to you, right? And
he can take it away if he wants it tomorrow, and that'll be okay with me if he decides.
So I had a similar thing. Somebody I worked with in the business for a long, long time. Actually, he's been on the show a couple times. Chris Druick, he brought him from El Centro to here, gave him his first job here in video and stuff. And then I couldn't keep him anymore working under me when I got to the radio full time. And he went out and he started his own business, and now he's collaborating with somebody that's pretty big in town that's direct competition with me. But to me, I'm like, that's just beautiful. I just clapped. I had to take my time. I looked at it and I said, you know what, good for him. And I went on, I congratulated, and he's excellent what he does. It's great. And I'm just like, good. I got some good competition that's not really competition out there, and we're going to elevate the game here in Yuma.
Yes.
So that's it is. And if you view it that way, it doesn't sting. You don't get mad. You don't get upset, but you are a part of that person's success. Even a little part, right? I could just say I'm just a little part, but he's doing it. So I'm more happy for them than anything.
Yeah. And that's it's taken a while. I tried to do this director collaborative back in 2018. It didn't work out because the competition thought of it. The second time around, it didn't work out. This third time around, last year, it has been successful. So we're even with Miss Mellon opening her new preschool center in San Luis, Arizona as well, just wanting to meet and grow, and she has questions for me and I have questions for her, and then just meeting up so that we can again get together and go out and do more for our children. And now Phoenix, it's just nice. And that's something that I've always wanted to do, and I feel that that's where God needs me now, and that's where I need to be. So it's uncomfortable at times, to do things, to get out there, but in regards to where I'm at now.
Yeah, even here, destroying paper clips because you were uncomfortable and nervous. I'm just kidding. You show everybody on camera. You're like, yes, I did do that. But now, hopefully, you feel comfortable enough here at the show. You're doing great. Absolutely, you're very well spoken. So
I want to ask you. So you mentioned that 2018, you found out there was a building going to be open for Milestone Preschool. Are you still in the same building now?
Yes.
Okay.
2600 West 24th Street. It's our building, and it's if you go down 24th, you go past Avenue B.
Yeah.
Between B and C, it's right between those two fields.
Now, I'm thinking news-wise, I don't know, were you affected by that water, main, when the street got flooded, 24th and 4th?
It was close.
It's in that area.
But
it was closed. We weren't because of one of the fields. Everything kind of got stuck in the field.
It got stuck in the field?
Yeah.
So, I didn't kind of go up there.
Yeah, because I saw the apartments, there was some flooding in the entrance, and then they had to close up that street, and that was a whole big thing for that one day.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah.
But no, you were protected on that one as well,
yes,
huh?
Yeah. But yeah, we're there. And if anybody ever, again, if it's a director, anybody who opened a business, you want to open childcare business, I know the SBDC is also doing some courses for that.
For childcare?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you want to open up a childcare center, it's coming up next month. I'll be there. I have it already, but it's never, you never stop learning. I just find I got to be there and got to learn what's up new. And if you ever need help, I'm there. And if you ever need to enroll children, your grandchildren, I'm there as well.
So I love the SBDC.
Yeah.
Like they really help out a lot, and so that's a resource that you could use.
Definitely.
So tell us what it's a typical day at the preschool. Does it get pretty wild in there with the youngsters, or
kids running
every day
around with like glue and juice boxes?
Yeah, or eating glue or anything like that. No, don't eat the glue. It's like, what are you doing? What's it like?
It happens. It
happens. It happens.
It happens.
Kids
are kids.
Hey, Sally, I'm sorry to tell you, your son was eating glue again today.
We open at 6:30 in the morning and we close at 5 Monday through Thursday. Fridays 6:30 in the morning to 4:30, and we encourage families. Even though we're open all these times, even if it's with us as a tour, because we invite parents to come in tour and follow that mommy gut feeling. Don't enroll right away. Go visit places. And I like them to see what really happens in the classroom. And it can be from a child being exposed to all the paints. Sometimes, a lot of places, preschools, they don't have all the paints on the table because then there's children don't have control, or you got to teach them that. So, just spilling the paint on the floor, that was my craziest one once. He just decided to just get the bottle and spray it all over it's a brand new floor.
Oh, wow.
And which was fine. I mean, we're aware that's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. Or just children, telling their stories from home during lunchtime. I'm not in the classroom like that anymore, but I miss that so much. It's just mom and dad, or grandma said, or then they just start talking because we're eating. And what do we do when we eat? We're just having vermouth.
We communicate.
And I love it. It's fun. Our 1-year-olds are cuties. We have ones when their own classroom, the twos are in their class. Everybody's separated. Occasionally they get reunited, but again, I just to close with this thought, it's very important. I like to educate my parents, or not educate, I guess that's not the right word, but I want to help them understand child development. Children are not born to come in and then just ruin everybody's lives. We got to teach them. And I find that I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday, even like potty training, sometimes they think, it's this child is 3 years old and they're not potty trained. It's like, let's find out what's happening behind it. It can be either developmental, or it can be the fact that, they regressed when you moved them from one room to the next, or you moved the bed from that window to this wall. It's just
everyone's different. Everyone has their own, goes at their own pace.
And I tell my parents, just let's relax. Or we have a biter that's a big thing, we have a biter in the building. Let's find out why. I did have a biter back in 2018 when I opened, 2019, who bit consistently, and it was a risk. People were saying, we're going to take our children out.
For
if
sure.
you don't kick her out, we're going to. And I said, that's not fair. And so I had to sit down with the parents and say, this is where this child is going through. Mom's pregnant. She got moved from the mom's bed off to her own bedroom. She's not the princess of the family anymore. Now she has to share. So there's all these things going on with this little 2-year-old. It's not fair to kick her out.
Yeah.
And, it's just.
That's pretty incredible that you took that role to sit down and talk to them and explain that, and not just react and kick that child out. I commend you for that, because most of the time people just like, okay, let's ditch the liability.
Let's get rid of the problem.
Let's get rid of the problem. And then that kid, the poor kid, stays a problem because it doesn't get down to the bottom of it.
Then he becomes a statistic. And that's not what at least for my own son, that's not something that I don't like. Unless I think we've only had to children have 2 or 3 families have pulled their children out, and that's just because, again, there's a parenting thing that they're just very attached to.
Yeah, and I've heard about don't send your kid there, there's biters or something like that. Like that'd be a thing. But you said, I'm going to take this risk. I'm going to take this. I'm going to explain and take the time and make sure. How'd the kid end up? It was
fine.
Fine. That's beautiful.
It went away. And it went away. It got resolved. And here we are. And I know she's being successful somewhere else, and I know she will be resilient too.
So real quick before we have to go, tell our listeners and viewers how they can get more information on Milestones Preschool, website, social media.
We're on Instagram, we're on all social medias. We're even now on TikTok under Miss Josie, but that's mine. You can follow me on Facebook. I have a lot of information on there too. But Milestones Preschool is, that's the name of the Instagram and I think Facebook as well. My daughter does all the marketing stuff. But you can always call us at 928-783-3426. Or you can stop by for a tour if you wish and follow your mommy.
And tell everybody one more time where it's located.
2600 West 24th Street here in Yuma, Arizona.
Between two fields, right?
Between the big two fields that are on between B and C, I'm 24th.
All right. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And with that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Arnales, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reek.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. Stay tuned for KOFA's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's show, we finally have Alma.
Alma Ornelas.
Yeah, she has an announcement to make, so that's going to be pretty cool.
From Best Taquito.
Yep.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
All right. And if you want to book on this show, make sure you visit whatsupyuma.biz. Once again, that's whatsupyuma.biz. Hit that radio link and hit book me, and you'll be on this show right here. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back with Alma making her debut on the show, like I've been asking her over and over again. But it's going to be good.
Yeah.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Thanks for listening to KOFA Yuma, whether it is on the radio at 94.7 FM or 1320 AM, or on your smartphone with the KOFA app, or on your computer